Doing your own research is one of the worst advice someone could give you. You will see why. And now what we hear in every video is you have to invest in the narrative, but no one tells you how and where to find those coins that's going to do 100x, because that's what we want to do here. To prove that doing your own research is stupid, we're going to use data, because all this video is going to be about data, scientific approach, and copying the smart money. When I checked the top of the crypto in 2017, February, all right, you see the top 10 here? We can see some Litecoin, Dash. Have you heard about Dash recently? No, why? But it was the fourth coin in February 2017, so it was a blue chip. So if you did your own research, you were investing in this, right? Well, let's go 1 year later, in 2018. What happened? Why is it all different now? Like, I don't understand. I did my own research, and the coins I invested in were good coins. They were blue chip. They were in the top 10. All right, we go fast forward, 2019. Why we have Binance Coin now? I thought what I had in my portfolio was good. Okay, I think you want to know more. You want to have more? So we go 2021, we fast forwarded a little bit. We have Binance coins that stay there. But then again, it's changed, and we still have Litecoin. We don't even know what's happening on Litecoin. If you go after the top 10, it's even more different. And now, February 2023, it's totally different. So why? I did my own research. I invested in blue chips. I studied their white paper. How come it didn't work? I followed the narrative. How come it didn't work? Because 95 to 99% of the people will lose money in crypto, and that's how it is. Unless they hold for a while, but if they go in those shit coins, they're gonna for sure get trapped. So in this video, we're gonna see how not to get trapped and how to spot in advance the crypto that are going to pump. And trust me, if you don't make 10x with what you learn in this video, stop living, mate. You just don't have it. It's actually a lot more simple than it seems. The first number you have to look at is Bitcoin long-term holders. Are they selling their Bitcoin or they are accumulating? Because those guys, they quite know well how to do it. First bull market, they're dumping on the people at the top. Then they accumulate when it goes down, and then they dump again when it was the top in 2013. How did you go? All right, we know 2017, price going up, they're dumping. Then it goes down, they're accumulating. Here, they dumped at the moment where it reached 47.56. Some accumulated after at the 30K. And then something really bad happened with FTX and all that. We're not going to dive in, but they were dumping at 60K again. And now they've been accumulating for a few months. So we're in a good position to see the Bitcoin going up, because people need to first make money in Bitcoin and Ethereum to after spread it in the other coins. What I'd like to check as well is the stablecoin exchange flow. Are people sending their stablecoin out of the exchanges or to the exchanges? Because we know what's happening when you're removing your stablecoins from the exchanges. It's because you're ready to buy some shitcoins on Uniswap, PancakeSwap, CoSwap, whatever swapping tool you use. That's what you're going to do. Same as the Ethereum exchange flow. If people start to send back their Ethereum to the exchange, it means that they are probably going to cash out. And if they're cashing out, we will see a price dropping. And it's the same for the NFT market. We are going to check first what are the macro trends. Are people sending more Ether to their NFTs, or people are withdrawing from it? We can see that there was a bump in NFT trading in February because Blur did something really smart. They say, all right, everyone that trades on our platform will get some airdrop. So there was some massive trading. Most of it was wash trading. You can check my previous video about it. I explain it all in that one. And now it's starting to get a bit more up, but it's not that great. If you take the last 90 days, yeah, it's starting to go up again. And we have plus 69% in volume in the previous 30 days. Actually, following this, helping me to not do a mistake in the previous bull market when I was working with some friends on an NFT collection. And then after 2 weeks, I say, guys, we need to pull out the plug. They're like, why? We started to work on it end-to-end. We have the design and so, yeah. But the inflow of Ethereum in NFTs is going down. And our project is not the best one. So we're not going to attract enough money. So it doesn't make sense. Let's get out. And of course, we cut our losses, which was just like sweat equity at that time. But you have to know how to do this the same way in crypto, in all of those crypto. And that's why the narrative is going to be interesting to understand. Because let's face it, most of the people are going to use the wrong strategy. We have three big strategies. This is a spectrum, and we have 1, 2, 3 strategy. Now we have what is new here, okay, and what is old here. And most of the people are going to stay at the middle. What is new? That's going to be the shitcoin land. Shitcoin land is one of the best land. And in shitcoin land, you will have, of course, the narrative as well. All right? You do your research. Then we have the old style where you could just hold your Bitcoin, Ethereum, DCA, you don't care, or you have other automation. So those guys, they make a bunch of money. Why? Because they don't lose some, and they focus on their work, their agency, or whatever they're doing to invest that money in crypto. And now those guys, they make also some money because they go take some risk. But most of the people are going to invest like retards and are going to stay on their Coinbase or Binance exchanges, like where there are no opportunities. They don't really take risk, but then they don't get rewarded. If you invest like between the top 5 and top 25 to top 50, you're taking a risk still, but you don't get that much reward. So the risk-reward ratio here is so bad, while on the two extreme sides, it's a lot better. You can check around yourself. People who are like deep in crypto, who follow the smart money, see everything, they're making money here on the right side, and the other one that just automate, they don't care, they make money here as well on the left side. So why will we go at the middle? I don't know, because people feel like, I want to be active, but not so much. I kind of take risks, but not so much. And it will be the same in the dating market, right? Here's dating apps. And people will be, oh, but why I don't get good quality? I'm using dating apps. Because you're taking a risk and not a risk at the same time. The old way will be, all right, they see people in real life. They take their balls and they go talk to people. And we have on the right side, it will be the one who are attractive. They use Instagram or they grew an audience. They can have some talent. People are coming to them. That's the new way. 20, 30 years ago, it was playing music in a band. You would get a lot more attraction. Now it's like that. So if you don't think with this spectrum in most of the areas of life, you will just get no result. You will just become average, and average lose money in crypto and is never going to do a 100x. Now, how to get those 100x? I would say that automation is mostly going to give you some 10x, but here we will see a 100x. And that's going to be with the narrative. And here with automation. Now the narrative, we need some criteria. We need to know what we are looking for. If you don't know what you're looking for, someone else will choose for you what you're looking for. And that's pretty bad. It's the same again. What are your criteria? How are we going to follow? And what are the rules? So rules, criteria, and the way to find it. RCW, yeah, I just created that on the spot. Let's actually take some example of narrative and understand how they work. In 2021 to 2022, we had two major crypto that exploded. It was Matic and Doge. How I'm going to find my narrative? I added up a bunch of crypto here. I will show you how. You can do it yourself in a minute. And we had Rune that did pretty good and VET. Now, if we fast forward at today, why I don't see Matic again? What happened? I did my own research. I followed the narrative. I don't understand. And now I have this coin, Cast, that we never heard about before. We don't even know why it's here, but it's booming a lot more than all the cryptos. And that's one of the elements of the narrative that we understand now, that first, a narrative will change. One, it changes. It's not always the same story. It will be different. And to understand those narratives, there is a pattern that we will see again and again. Now we are just at recently. I can see a bump at the beginning for Cast right here. I can see a bump for Render here. And those crypto always have one first bump. Let me show you some other example. Why we will have this and why it's important, and you will see why it's linked to human psychology. Because we're just a bunch of humans doing the same stuff in crypto, and that's why we always get wrecked, because that's the nature of humans. Most of the people will not have interesting results. Matic and Doge, two of the biggest winners. Both, they had a bump at the beginning. They have a bump, then they become flat, and then they go crazy. Why that? You never have two chances to do a first impression. And then the first impression is always important, because we like winners. We like winners. And then we have to understand we are talking about a narrative. So a narrative, it's all about some different kind of stories. We like also outliers, and we like a great comeback. Like Solana. Great example, Solana, right? Great example. Solana was dead. No one cared about Solana anymore. We're like, we don't want to even hear about it. But now people are like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to have to hide the one from Cast because it's just ruining my graphics. Solana, great comeback. It was nothing. And you see how most of the crypto are doing the same kind of performance? Like they're all at the bottom, and it will be just always few outliers. Just few crypto will bring tons of gains. This is also called the momentum effect. It means when someone starts to win, we want them to see them win more. Let's take an example, a World Cup. A small country start to win many times in a row. Everyone is going to support them. And more people are going to support them because they like winners. And what's going to happen? At some point, this club will lose. And when they lose, people will leave the boat. But until they win, it's going to bring more and more people, and people are going to be more and more emotional. Because the group of humans is just a massive emotion can be transferred and amplified. And when I say that we like outliers and we like a great comeback and we like the things that were not supposed to happen, you can just check the elections of USA before. Most of the people saw that Trump would never be elected. Well, what happened? He got elected. So the scenario that is almost sure that will not happen, when it happened, it boomed. Dogecoin, we are not going to dive in what's the technology behind because it's nothing great, but it pumped like crazy. Now, let's take an example. If I was to give you a full notebook with all the crypto analyzed, everything, you just have to reach page per page, the 10,000 cryptos. Or I tell you, what is Elon Musk going to tweet about next week and which coin is going to pump? What are you choosing? For me, I will choose the Elon Musk 10 times because that's one of the things that is important. When we talk about virality, to go viral, you need actually one big person. One big person can do the job. Of course, thousands of small person could do the job as well, but it's much harder than having just one. This is easy to have. One big person pumping a project that have a big influence and they are just going to follow it like sheep. Now that's why we want to know, but how do we get those big person? I'm gonna have to do a callback about what we saw before, is that the smart money, people who are buying when it's down and selling when it's the top, they're kind of smarter than most of the people because they have their emotion and they have their research that I combine and they know how to figure out the market. So I'm going to follow them. But how to follow them? We can check the rich list and we will take an example. And then we can take what's happening with the smart money to have it, all right? We can know what influencers are investing in most of the time, and I can check what are they doing. If you take Caspar and the rich list, we know that most of the small investors is growing. So people who have a balance, a small balance, are growing. People who have a bigger balance is kind of going down. And we know that the top 1,000 address own 60% of the supply. So the market is actually owned mostly by just 1,000 people. And then the pleb is sharing the rest. Yeah, it's harsh words, but it's reality. And on Handsome Finance, we prioritize honesty more than anything else. So of course, if I was investing in this project, well, I will dig into knowing What are those hedgers doing? Are they selling? Are they sending their money to some exchange? Or they are accumulating? And when you know this, you know that the biggest actors on the market that can make the market move, you know what they're up to, so it's much easier. But you promised us that we will see 100x coin, where it is. We are going to establish the rules now to choose our coins that are going to be able to do a 100x. Firstly, is the market cap. If the market cap is above $1 billion, maybe we can go for 10x, but it's going to be hard. Then if we check something that is below 500 million and even more below 200 million, then we have a chance. Exactly the case of Casper here. The market cap was to 100 million at the beginning of the year. Pretty small coin, right? And then it bumped to now 2 billion. You see the massive difference? And it's a layer 1 project. When most of the people thought like, we are done with layer 1. We had a war of layer 1 in the previous bull market. Now it's going to be layer 2. I didn't saw them coming, being totally honest here. So that what I would check first, taking crypto that are after 300. Like what is before, it's just not going to be worth the risk. So we're going to go like something that is max 200 or max. So now that I have this criteria, I'm going to add up another one. I want the smart money to be in. Why I want that? If they have a lot of money, usually they have a big influence. And a big influence is going to act a lot faster than a lot of small people together. So we get 1, 2 criteria, and we could add up another one that will be that they are still investing in and not going out. Because if they are going out, maybe the opportunity is closed. We are not sure about that. But then if you establish those criteria, it's going to be a lot easier to find. Because what I will do is first, I'm going to check what they invest in. All right. Second, I'm going to check how much is it. And then when I check what they invest in, I can know those numbers as well. So then I have most of the research done without having to search that much. And if you check the previous videos, I explain how I do my research and I analyze it a lot of different crypto investment funds. For example, Wintermute, they have tons of money, and I can see that they have been selling some DYDX, that they have interacted with some Shiba. They sold it as well. Even this person with 30 million, I can know exactly what he's buying and what he's selling. So I have a lot of insights about what to invest in. Now, what I need to do is just to validate or not validate. We saw TokenSite before. TokenSite, the smart money, I can see that they have been accumulating. Because those people were here with a crypto that is so small. TokenSite, the market cap is fairly small. Fully dilated valuation, we are below 100 million. So every move could happen. One of the people that have like 100K in it, I can see that it's been accumulating the last 7 days, so that's going to push the price up. Now, if those people are starting to sell and I will have an alert about that, then I will know, all right, maybe we're reaching a top. And same, we have those indexes for the NFTs, so we can see what's happening when we study the data. That's why we invested in Beam recently, right? Because I saw that there was an inflow of 440K in it for market cap that was below, at that time, it was a bit below 500 million. So it's not going to be a 100x that one, but that could be easily go for 10x or even more. And then it was in the big money. Same, WorldCoin is in the big money, but then it's going to depend on their ranking in the coin market cap. Now, I could see Beam going in the top 100 easily. WorldCoin, we will see. Maple, I would say it's a fairly small market, but you see, look at that. The last 7 days, I can see that the smart money started to sell. So I should have been selling, right? Because minus 100 million, what we can see, the last 24 hours, who took a dip? Maple. Now, it might be all just a fugazi, but it seems that the data are always replying to it. To be 100% honest with you, I didn't invest in Keeper and neither in Paraswap. Those 5 coins were analyzed from what the big investment funds were buying, and I decided to not follow them on those 2. Maybe it was a mistake from my side, but so far from the 3 others, I made the right choice. And now you have all the weapons and everything to go and get those 100x. If you want to automate, and I would say you should, you can invest in the narrative. Now, to really leverage that and implement what we saw to be on the both sides of the spectrum, first will be to automate. And you can automate your investment in the narrative, for example, with Basketfolio, that, by the way, I am a co-founder of it. So I want to say, because I built this tool for me first, it let me invest in a basket of assets instead of doing all the research. So if I want to go with the layer 2, I just click on it, and then it's going to put all those coins in my Binance or Kraken account, all that, and without me having to do research about it. So I'm not wasting my time, and I'm still in the narrative, or I could invest in the metaverse, whatever narrative is going to work out. Of course, to study the narrative, some data that are interesting to check is what's happening on Reddit, what's happening on YouTube, and what's happening even more with the big money. The big money is always somewhere that we don't expect them. So if we follow them, we know what they are doing. And then they have the money to pay and to influence some of the things on the market. It's the same if you do the research. If you want information about what's going to happen in the market, go closer to the source of information, which will be another example. If you're here and then you want to know more about a crypto, don't text a project that have 500K people following them, but find a developer that maybe have less than 100K followers, and that will help you, or go to a conference. That's the way to do. And it will be the exact same thing again, right? We can replicate this same model in dating, where it would be, don't text someone with 500K followers. If you wanted someone into yoga or to playing music or whatever you like, whatever is your taste, I don't know, or stand-up comedian, go with the one that have less than 1,000K, sorry, 1,000 followers, or go in real life. It's the same again. Why this spectrum always work? Because this is how life is made. To mathematically get those outliers, where you could use some algorithm that check the momentum and use the trend following, because you will know when the trend is going, and it's working really well. I apply it myself, and this program is making money for me. Now, it's not cheap to get, because of course it takes years of development, and then it's not for every portfolio, but then that's really good when you automate it, because I don't need to care about that. So I can choose to either focus on finding those coins, and actually that's good because I'm doing videos about it. So I can focus on those shit coins, and then I have most of my money working in this part here. So I'm kind of secure. And for the right side, I would say surround yourself with people that are doing those research and try to go closer to the source of information. So that's why I created a community. I just want to do this for my own research and to surround myself with people that want to learn how to invest with those ways, to explore what's happening on chain, and also some people that can bring some new information into it. So that's why I created this. I will put you the link in the description. Anyway, it was a pleasure. Let me know, which coin are you going to invest in? Do you think you're going to really find a 100x like this? At least you have all the cards now. It's you who decide how you play them. Before you leave, remember a few things. First, you need to have a strong input from the smart money. Second, the narrative. How to get the data from the narrative is often linked to the smart money. When the smart money is selling, the narrative is changing. And people like a good story. We always remember the impact of something at the beginning, the first impression. In stand-up comedy, the first joke is going to be the one that makes the audience decide, okay, we're on your side, we like you, and then we are going to laugh about your stuff. And then it's going to make it much easier in between. And then the closing joke is going to really take a massive amount of points about deciding of where you're funny or not. It's the same in everything. We remember the people when they come at the party and when they leave the party. What's happening in between is not as important. That's why the momentum effect is going to be really important. So look out for those outliers. If you saw some, you can post them in the comments. We are going to get a lot of them in the investors boardroom. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can check that one where you can see actually those big investment funds, what are they investing in it, and how I fund them. Anyways, it was a pleasure. Stay handsome. Ciao.